Just see those guys real quick. Both of you guys know you've got multiple serious charges pending against you. My recommendation to the prosecutor and what she agreed to do is that Kentrell, all you admit to is the trespass. We're not going to get into the theft or the burglary or any of those types of things. Ken, for you, my suggestion with the prosecutor was, and they agreed with it, would that be you admit to the criminal mischief. We're not going to deal with any of the remaining charges for you then at this point. That's all you would admit to, okay? But understand, the agreement is not that if you admit to these that you go home. But we're making a big step forward today, so let's at least try and get you guys out of here. Now, since we were in court several weeks ago, what has happened?
Several weeks ago, we ordered a psychological evaluation to be completed. Both of those evaluations were completed. With Kentrell, we did decide that at this time, in the best interest of the community and for himself, that he be placed in a residential treatment facility.
With respect now to Kenneth, why don't you tell us about what your recommendation is?
We also agreed that he needs residential placement to meet his needs.
You're not recommending that they go home with their mother?
Not at this time.
Did you want to speak or no?
Okay.
You want to try? I can ask you the questions pretty simply. Lisa? Okay. Judge, I'd call their mother very briefly, just for a couple quick questions. Now, you understand that there's a recommendation that both of your sons be placed in a residential placement for the purpose of receiving a variety of services and educational tools and things like that.
Yes.
Or what did you want to say with respect to those options? Do you think your kids can come home with you today, or should they?
It's for the best. I want them to come home, but if they need help, I agree with that.
You just will leave it to the court to decide?
Yes.
Right? That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you, Mrs. Gant. You may have a seat back there. Mrs. Guzik?
Judge, there's no argument that Kentrell needs some type of therapeutic placement. The psychological evaluation shows that Kentrell has some significant mental health needs. My problem with Kenneth is that he's committed numerous acts of delinquency. Well, that's what Indiana Boys School is meant to address. And then you factor in that he's had counseling provided to him, and he hasn't been terribly amenable to the counseling. He has a track record, and the track record isn't very, very good at this point. You know, it's a serious matter for this court to decide that it's going to invest itself in a child to the extent that this county and this court is being asked to invest themselves in Kenneth, and I don't see that there's going to be a lot of bang for our buck, to be perfectly honest. I think he's a dangerous person. I think he should be committed to Indiana Boys School.
Well, I would agree that I think Indiana Boys School can address a lot of the issues that Kenneth is facing. But I know this much, if he were in the adult system, he would not be able to receive the treatment and the rehabilitation and the services that the juvenile court is designed to provide to children like Kenneth and like Kentrell. The state and the taxpayers are going to pay whether we send him to the Department of Correction or we send him to placement. And maybe we won't get the bang for the buck as you've described it, but I'm going to still put my faith in the juvenile court system, and that I think we can do a better job with kids than the adult system can do, and going to jail is going to do for him. I would love nothing more than to send both boys home to you, Mrs. Gant. That would be really the ideal thing to do. But I think you as a mom, which is why you're crying your heart out back there, knows that that's not the right thing right now. Kenneth is on the verge. He's on the verge of either doing something really horrible in his life and take him away from you forever, or he's on the verge of maybe being able to turn that corner, and maybe if we hold his hand and help him turn that corner, he'll be able to do that. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make him a ward of the court in order that he be placed appropriately. And as it relates to Kentrell, I couldn't let him walk away from us without trying to get him to a point where he's at least literate and can function in some type of a job. So today the court is going to make him a ward of the court in order that he be placed at IDTC, which stands for the Indiana Developmental Training Center in Indianapolis. All right, then this hearing's adjourned. Thank you.
Why we got it, man? I hate it, man. Do that, man. They don't, they don't care about us, man. Ain't no changes to no state, man. No community. They don't know. That's some bullshit, man. Don't stay. That's some bullshit. I can't do it, man. Damn.
I really, truly feel that this was the time for us to intervene, and it's sort of like a now or never situation for them. They're either going to get the help now, or they're never going to get the help.
Oh, my God, man.
Let's go. Come on, you're going to be all right, Kentrell.
My brother, he's messed up. He torn up inside because he ain't going to be with his family. I prefer him to go home, and I just stay here. Take all the blame, but I wish I can do that, but can't. I feel sorry for my little brother. It make me sad, make me think about that I'm not doing something right.